What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video.
So for today, we're going to be talking about BMR, so your basal metabolic rate. Your basal metabolic rate is a formula to calculate what your body requires if you were to sit in bed all day and do nothing. So the general needs of everything in the body to run perfectly.
Yeah, like health.
The mathematical equation is obviously not going to be exact every time, but if you get this number and it says 1600, it's probably relatively close, give or take maybe 100 or 200. That would be the most ideal place to start when it comes to calorie intake. So if it says 1600, make sure you're eating 1600 bare minimum a day. If you're eating 1300 and you're not losing weight, you're not in a deficit, which means you can only go less. And creating a deficit from 1300 calories is a bit, well, it's dangerous. Because you're essentially starving yourself to lose weight, but then when it comes time to add those calories back in, because that is not sustainable long term, you're just going to gain your weight back because your metabolism has slowed down to the point where it's preventing excessive weight loss due to starvation. So when you find that number, normally I tell people add 10 to 20% for that number on days that you don't exercise or do anything relatively difficult. So if it's sitting at home, at work, you don't feel like going out, adding 200 calories to that day, that would be a better maintenance amount of calories. And then you slowly start working yourself up to that maintenance, and provided you have not gained weight, you might gain weight, and the only downfall with that is your metabolic adaptation has probably been a very long time.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, if you've been eating very little for very long, it might take the exact same amount of time for your body to repair itself from the damage that was caused by undereating. Yeah. And I've heard one, and this was terrible, this one woman, she wanted to lose about 50 pounds. She's already a bigger girl, and it wasn't my client, it wasn't a client at Freeform, but the trainer was like, listen, we need to reverse diet, we need to start getting your metabolism back up and firing, because she was only consuming 1,200 calories a day, but she was still ways away from her weight loss goal. And over the course, it took 2 years, and over the course of 2 years, she ended up gaining another 25 pounds. So that's pretty hard to see happen to you when you put trust into somebody and you're like, I want weight loss, and they literally have to tell you, you're going to gain weight until your body finds that the calorie intake has been consistent and it doesn't sense that starvation feeling. That's when the body will finally relax, and then you can go into a deficit. But you can't go into a deficit if you've been in a deficit for as long as you can remember. That is why everyone eats so little and can't lose any weight. Yeah. But then the idea of telling someone to eat more to lose weight plays with their mind, because they're like, well, I'm just gonna get fat. Yeah. Well, if you can't go the way you're going, the only other way is the opposite. So unfortunately, you have to do that. And again, slow and steady, 150 calories a week, which is half an avocado or like a couple of nuts. It's really not that much. But if you do that over the course of weeks, months, and you pump your calorie intake up about 400 or 500, and you've seen no weight gain, keep going. See how much food you can eat in a day, every day, until you start gaining weight. And if you start gaining weight, you've now hit your ceiling of calories needed for a day with your calorie output. I had a client, we were at 1,700, we got up to 2,600, she didn't gain a pound. But it's really easy to cut 500 calories from 2,600 than it is from 13.
And that's the main issue with a lot of people coming in for fat loss, and have like throughout their life have been doing like the on and off diets, and
they've also gotten, not that the information that they were given was wrong, it was not fully explained. Dieting cannot be a year-long, lifelong goal. It should be phased like regular training. There should be a phase of calorie surplus, so you change a program to correlate to a surplus. There's maintenance calories, and then there's a calorie deficit. Yeah. If you slowly work your body through those phases of training, you'll be able to see longer, consistent weight loss that's sustainable. Yep. Most weight loss goals that are hit, usually within 5 years, I think it's 95% gain it back. After 2 years, it's something like 65%.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, doing drastic cuts, they work, but unless
Yeah.
you've prepared yourself to come out of that, you're only going to cause detriment to your goals, and it's going to make it harder to sustain whatever weight loss goal you manage to achieve.
Yeah.
So that's basal metabolic rate. So that's the bare essential calories your body needs for survival.
So for the viewers, if we ask, like, if we give them a tool, let's say, to calculate that BMR, like,
Go on to Google, type
Yeah.
in BMR calculator, and again, it's not going to be specific to you. It's your age, your weight, your height, your activity level, and it'll pump out that number.
yeah,
That number is important. It's not going to be the end all be all, but try to hit that number. And,
Yeah.
and once you do, you're going to start to realize how hard it is to eat, let's say, 1,800 calories of
Yeah.
healthy food.
yeah, oh yeah. Well, that's another thing. Food choices.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Like-
if you're eating 1,300 calories a day, let's say, and your first stop is like Tim Hortons, like, let me get a bagel and an ice cap.
Oh.
That's like 750 to 800 calories.
Right there, yeah.
So now all you have left is between 400 and 500 calories for the rest of the day. And then you go have a lunch that you have no idea what it was, and that could be anywhere from 300 to 700 calories.
Let's say sushi. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Like-
get 6 California rolls, it's about
Yeah.
350.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
you have 150 calories left for dinner, which is half an avocado. Like, no one can survive
No,
off that.
no.
You're eating highly palatable foods that create a massive calorie spike, but don't leave you feeling satiated
Yeah.
at the end. That's why quality protein, whether it be vegan protein, meat, whatever it might be, it's necessary. It's necessary for metabolism function. It's necessary to build muscle. And again, muscle
Yeah.
requires more calories.
Yep.
So the more muscle you make and have, the more you'll be allowed to eat with no consequences.
Yeah, pretty much.
The late night snacking in the wine or beer is a big problem I'm seeing, more so now than ever.
Yeah.
Those will, like, I don't care what you consume, if you're 200 calories over your maintenance, that is weight gain.
Yeah.
It might be a quarter pound a week, which is insignificant.
Yeah.
But I mean, a pound a month, 12 pounds a year, over 3 years, 36 pounds. That's exactly how weight loss happens. It's very rare that you see someone who's like, "Oh, I just blinked and I gained 30 pounds." It's slow. It's not in your face until you put something on that you haven't worn in a while. You're like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
And then it's like, now what? So making the BMR calculator and doing your best to hit those calories from clean food. If you're constantly under eating, try to hit that number first.
So yeah, so if you have any more questions on that topic, comment down below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this, and we'll see you for the last part,
Part 6.
part 6.